Healing doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it shows up as panic in a quiet kitchen. Emily sat at her kitchen table, staring into the mug in her hands. Steam curled upward, but she couldn't feel the warmth. Then she heard it. A door slamming. Not in her apartment. Not today. Years ago. Her chest tightened. Her fingers went numb. Her heart slammed against her ribs like she needed to run. She froze. Right there in her own home. She had gone to work that morning. Answered emails. Smiled at strangers. She thought she was fine. She thought she was past this. But her body told a different story. Trauma doesn't always disappear. Sometimes it waits. Emily's story isn't rare. It belongs to millions of people who think they've moved on until the past sneaks back through something tiny. A sound, a smell, a tone of voice. Years earlier, something had happened to her, something so painful she never said it out loud, not to friends, not to family, not even to herself. Her instinct was simple: bury it. If she didn't look at it, maybe it couldn't hurt her. She built a life anyway: work, weekend plans, small talk in grocery lines. On the outside, she looked normal. Inside, her body was carrying everything. A loud argument across the street, someone dropping a tray in a cafe, the smell of disinfectant in a hallway. Suddenly, her throat closed, her stomach dropped, memories pressed forward all at once, too fast. Too much, so she shoved them back down, kept moving. This became her rhythm: hold it together, get triggered, fall apart in private, push it back down, repeat.
She avoided therapy, avoided silence, avoided slowing down, because she was scared. Scared that healing meant reliving everything. Scared that once the door opened, she wouldn't be able to close it. And that's what she believed healing was: drowning in the past. Until one night, she heard something different. She was scrolling on her phone, half numb, half tired. A calm voice played through her headphones. It said, "Healing doesn't start with memories. It starts with safety." Emily paused. Listened again. Safety? The voice talked about the nervous system, about how the body learns danger, about how panic isn't weakness, it's protection stuck on high alert. Emily didn't know whether to believe it, but something in her leaned closer. She replayed it. Again. Healing doesn't mean ripping wounds open. Healing means teaching your body the threat is over. She sat on the edge of her bed, placed one hand on her chest, took a slow breath. Her shoulders dropped, just a little. It surprised her. She hadn't told her body to relax. It just did, for half a second. And in that tiny moment, she didn't feel hunted by her own past. Emily lay awake that night staring at the ceiling, wondering how many years she'd spent fighting herself, wondering if her body had been trying to protect her the whole time, wondering what would happen if she stopped pushing. What if safety came first? She didn't feel hopeful. Not yet. But for the first time in a long time, she felt curious. The next morning, standing in line for coffee, someone behind her slammed a door. Her stomach flipped. Her chest tightened again. Her body surged forward, ready to run. Emily closed her eyes, remembered the voice. Safety first. She tried to breathe, tried to stay. Her hands shook. She whispered, "Please, work." And for a second, she didn't know whether she was about to panic or whether something new was about to happen.
Emily thought breathing might save her, standing in line for coffee, hands shaking, heart racing. She didn't know whether she was about to collapse or finally stay. She focused on the floor. pressed her toes into her sneakers, inhaled slowly, held it, exhaled. The door behind her echoed. Again, her body jolted, her pulse spiked. Panic surged up her throat like a wave. People around her kept chatting, scrolling phones, living normal lives. No one noticed that inside her, everything was on fire. She stepped out of line. Outside. The air was cold. It shocked her lungs. She leaned against the brick wall of the cafe and slid down until she was sitting on the sidewalk. Embarrassed, angry, tired, she whispered, "I'm trying." And it felt unfair that trying wasn't enough yet. That night she Googled, "Why does my body panic when I'm safe? Why can't I control my reactions? Is something wrong with me?" Articles blurred together, forums, podcasts, people describing the exact same thing. She wasn't alone. That scared her and relieved her. A week later, she sat in her car outside a therapist's office, hands gripping the steering wheel. Engine off. Heart loud. She told herself she'd go in. She didn't. Then she did. Then she didn't. Finally, she opened the door. The waiting room smelled like coffee and lavender. Soft music played. It felt to calm. Like a trick. The therapist didn't ask her to relive anything. Didn't push. Didn't pry. She asked simple questions. What happens in your body when you get scared? Emily blinked. No one had asked her that before. Not what happened, what happens now. Emily thought she was failing, collapsed in a parking garage, shaking, keys on the ground. She wondered if healing had ever really started. She sat against the cold concrete wall. Knees pulled to her chest, cars passed, footsteps echoed, her body stayed frozen. A stranger asked if she was okay. She nodded, didn't trust her voice. She waited until the shaking slowed before standing. Drove home with both hands clenched around the steering wheel, didn't turn on the radio, didn't take phone calls, just breathed, in, out, over and over. At home she sat on the edge of her bed and stared at the floor, angry, ashamed, exhausted. She thought, I'm back at the beginning. I ruined it. I can't do this. The old story came rushing in. You're broken. You waited too long. You should be better by now. That night she didn't sleep. She replayed the moment in the garage until sunrise. 2 days later she told her therapist everything. The dropped keys, the memory surge, the panic, the humiliation. She waited for disappointment. Instead, the therapist nodded, softly, and said, that wasn't failure. That was your nervous system doing exactly what it learned to do. The difference now is that you noticed, you stayed, you didn't disappear inside it. Emily blinked, stayed. She had thought she collapsed.